Okay, as I told you, today we'll be learning about the logo and also for a photographer, how it do impact. That means, guys, in last class also I was explaining uh, for a photographer. So to get identified and also not only in the photography industry, so in every industry, a logo will be showing a brand name for the branding and also to prove yourself and also to be in a place in a market, you'll be needing a logo. So today I won't be explaining in brief, but for a knowledge. So we learned that also. So how to create logos? Okay, there are industrial logos. There are people who used to create logos for their branding. Okay, and also to get famous in the market, they do use and also they are using their logos. So as like that, so why a logo is important? Last class I was explaining why a logo should be there in your picture because rather than okay, so we will be in after you are becoming a photographer and when you take photographs in a, for an example, in an wedding shoot or either portrait shoot, so you'll be using your watermarks. Okay, but most of the time you have to use watermarks like we'll say, so if you taking picture for a family or either for an organization for a company, you will be using their name in highlighter. So that means you have to put the organization's names or a family name or the gathering or something. You have to put the title and then in a place or either in a small area, you have to put who is the photographer and your details because you have to give priorities for the event. In a watermark, we'll be giving priorities than the logo and also than the photographer. You have to give details about the event. So that's why, for an example, we'll say if you taking photographs of on graduation. So when it's in graduation, you have to mention everything and also a year and also who organized that company name. Everything will be in a watermark. You might have seen that in a picture. So in the bottom of the picture, we have to put the watermark and it will show who have taken rather than okay. So more than explaining about the photographer, it would have the company which organized that event and also what is the event and when it held, everything will be there. Okay, when it's come to a logo, so when you use a logo in your picture, it shows only you, it focuses on the photographer. It will shows the photographer name or either who is a photographer to get identified. Okay, there is a there are we have to give importance for the company and the organization who organized the event and all. We have to give priority for that also, but more than that, you have to mention your name. The photographer is the reason and also you are the reason for that picture. You have taken that picture, right? So that's why. And what is a logo? So initially we learn and also initially let me explain a logo. What is a logo? Okay, make you stand out to your client. That means we'll say uh, so when you having okay 2 or 3 clients or more than that. Okay, so you do have taken photographs of events or something more than 10 to 15 shoots we have done. You that means you do have 10 to 15 clients, right? So when it's come to having more clients, they will know that you have taken that picture. For an example, we'll say in industry there are thousands of photographers, right? There are, but only some people and few people are there to take a quality and also a perfect picture. Okay, so when it's come to a quality picture, so to without confusing, to mention that to stand out from that and also to mention that you have taken the picture, so you will be using your logo. Okay, so and so to make a professionalism, that means rather than always telling I'm the photographer who taken this picture and rather than typing paragraphs and giving a brief introduction, so when you branding and also when you creating your brand name with a logo, just with your logo you can show, and also you can tell everything what you want to the client through that logo, right? So that is what. And make you stand out to your clients. And professionalism is a summary of an entire brand. That means we'll say if it is an photographic photographical organization or a logo of an photographer, or either if it is a logo of KFC, if it is a logo of Pepsi. So that is summarizing the whole organization, what they are doing, what is the brand, and also what they are product, and also whatever they are doing. Logo will summarize everything in a small area, give a brief idea of an organization, or either even to give an idea of a photographer. So, and then what is the connection, and also what are the differences between logo and brand? So, okay, it is similar because most of the people, most of the organizations, and most of the time, we used to brand, and branding will be branding through a logo. Okay, that might be that can be a pictorial logo, or either letters included logo, whatever. Okay, so logo identifies a business in its simplest form via the use of a symbol one. Okay, so because we'll say, so through the letters, or either the picture which you have used, or a symbol which you have used, it will gives an idea, a brief idea of an organization, or either who have done this, why people will be getting an idea. For example, when you buy bucket chicken in a KFC, once you are seeing a logo of KFC, people are getting to know this person have bought this from KFC. That is what. Okay, and brand perceive emotional image of a company as a whole. That means we'll say we can include, and also we can categorize a whole company thing and emotional things, everything in an uh, logo. So that is what. Okay, so give me a minute. Okay, guys. Fine. So, and a brand should include a name. So, as you all know, for an example, we'll say when you use your name as branding, we'll say, for an example, your name is John. So, John Photography or something. We'll say, so you have to give a name and core values. We'll say, so this is what you can include your qualification. You can say that you are a professional photographer or a wildlife photographer or something. You can add core values and a logo that might be your face. or a camera logo or either whatever. It must be related to the field for what you are designing that logo. So that is important. And then well, you can add some marketing material if it is possible. So because we cannot add everything, we cannot add everything to a logo. So if it is possible to maintain a quality and to show that you're doing something in a professional way, to show your professionalism, so you can use marketing materials as well. Okay. So and then the types of logos, so monogram logos, or we'll call that as an letter mark logos. That means there are two types of logos, guys. So in which, and also there are logos which used to classify, I get identified, and also to get to know about an organization or a logo, we'll be using a picture. To a picture we can get, if we can get everything about a company or either an organization, means that we call as an picture based or iconic logo type. Okay, and then when it's come to a letter mark, that means, for example, as you all know, NASA and even Google, IBM, HBO, like that, those organizations, they do not have any image or an icon, even an illustration included in their logo. The reason, the name and also the text, and also through that text everyone knows, and also to make their name famous, become famous, they are using letters, only letters. Okay. So and I have mentioned it also, I have explained, I have explained this briefly. So it is a pattern of showing and also making a name to become famous, so through letters and all. Okay. So that is what. And then word marks, so that is also same. So we'll be using uh, a letter. Okay. Word marks means, we'll say a letter will be used to represent an illustration. So we'll be creating illustrations, and also we'll be designing illustrations, but that would be a text. Okay. So letters. So for an example, visa, you all know that is not just a, letters or just a text. It is an illustration. So we people have made those letters and word into an illustration. Okay. So and then pictorial marks, so right, the logo symbols. So when it's come to Apple and Twitter, even Facebook, WhatsApp, all those organizations, they are not, okay, so including the company name or either their name in their logo through a picture. By their picture, people, almost everyone knows, and also everyone will understand, get to know, oh, this is what this, like that people will be getting to know. So they are just doing their brand and branding through a picture. So when it's come to a picture-based logo, so that called a pictorial mark or pictorial logo. We can call that in that way. So abs- abstract logo. So and then when it's come to logo, there are specific types. We say, so when you include right, when it's an abstract logo, it will have an illustration or an icon or an image, and also it will have text also. So it will include a text as well as it do have an abstract. So as I told you, so the first type of logo is just having a text or word, and the second type is just having an illustration or an icon or a picture. Through that, it will shows everything. And once it comes to abstract logo marks, we do have, for an example, here I have given the Pepsi mark in Pepsi. So give me a minute, guys. Sorry guys, I got a call, that's why. So when it's come to logo, just with only the text, you can design a logo, or either just with the illustration or an icon, you can create a logo, or either an abstract logo. That means a logo which will include uh, illustration as well a text. Okay, in Pepsi logo also you might have seen. So that is not just an illustration. In the bottom of the logo, they have mentioned the text of Pepsi. So in Adidas, even BP and everything, so all those logos, they have included their name with their logo, right? So that is what the abstract logo design. And then mascots. So mascots means the illustrations which used to get identified when we use an illustration. Okay, when a human or a product real picture into a graphic. That means we'll say you are creating your own picture into a cartoonish image, or either when you create a logo by using your own image or own photo, that would come under this. Okay, so through Illustrator software, or either by using illustrations in Photoshop even. So we'll be learning that also, so don't worry. So photo editing we'll be learning through Photoshop. So some of the editing works we'll be learning through Snapseed also. So those are the softwares mostly people use, because in a mobile phone we can use PixArt and Snapseed. There are softwares, but most familiar and easy to edit everything, to make changes in a picture, to color quality, even color management, everything we can do in Snapseed. And it's come to Photoshop also the same. So we can do everything, anything in the yeah software called Photoshop. You might know that. So we'll be learning that also in laptops and computers. You can use Photoshop. When it's come to mobile, we do have mobile applications also. So okay, so mascots means the logo which use. Okay, so like KFC, you might have seen that the person who created the KFC, who was the reason for starting KFC, they have used their own that person's own face into a cartoonish image to make their logo. So from the starting to now, they are using the same, right? Okay, fine. So and then the combinational. So we all know through when it's come to a combinational mark or combinational logo. So we'll be okay. So we'll be attaching the name inside of the logo or either closer to the illustration or a logo. So that is what the combinational. So I will share, if it is possible, I will share the presentation slides. So you can go through that. Okay. So and also emblem. So the emblem. So here, okay, to create badges. Okay, so in Harley Davidson and also in even Indian bikes. Okay, Pulsar and there are bikes, and also there are for an example, we'll say in vehicles. Okay, Nissan and even Ford Mustang and even in those companies they do use. Okay, a logo which is embossed. That means when you touch it, you can feel like something they have included, and also something is there in real. So you can feel that like that. An embossed view of a logo, it's called an emblem. Okay, so Harley Davidson logo. Sometimes you might have seen that. You can search that on YouTube and even Google. So it's like an embossed view. It shows like an embossed view. That means not as printed one, not as a sticker, not as an paper printed. So it's like an embossed view. So that's what we are calling emblem. Okay. So as I told you, I have given something and also I have explained, not in brief. For you, what you have to get an idea is, okay, through you can use Photoshop. Okay, if you know Photoshop, or either you can use Canva. In mobile phones you can use Canva application. So and then if you want, you can use other applications also. Basically you have to create a logo. Okay, so as I told you, I will be guiding you to create a logo. So I'll be teaching you how to create a logo. So don't worry. This course will be learning that also. Here, so first initially you have to decide a name. Okay, with the name you have to decide whether to use your own image as an illustration or a cartoonish image, or either you're going to use something else or a camera image or either something else to show and also to mention you are unique. So you can use whatever. Okay, and then so we'll move to the next part of the session. Fine. In last class also, I have explained what is photography in brief. And as you all know, we do have two types of photographies. Basically, through the light only, we are getting a picture. Okay, to get a picture, we have to use light through the lens, and also a picture is getting pictured through a light, right? Those days we was using a film roll, and to make that as a printed picture we have used liquid chemicals and all dark rooms and all. So chemical means those days we were using a camera which captures a photo, and it stores the picture in a film roll. Okay, so you have to protect that, and also while you are washing that picture film roll to get a picture, so it must be a dark room, and also we have to use there are specific liquid chemicals you have to use that. Once you come to digital means, as you all know, okay, so everything is under users and also photographers, and also everything is in your hand. So you can control everything. Okay, so through sensors, electronic devices, and also storages and everything. Okay, so you can get printout to just you are getting a printout of an soft copy. You can print out that image also through photo printing machines. So and also storage also digital, and photo viewing also you can view in a digital screen, and as well you can do anything. Okay, so when you wanted to share those pictures through Wi-Fi, nowadays DSLR cameras, even digital cameras, they do have wireless fidelity Wi-Fi connections and Bluetooth and everything, so you can share images also. So it captures images through sensors, and it would have sensors. Even storages would be digital. Okay. So and then how a camera works. So you have to know that, right? So before become a photographer, so before learning photography and all, so you have to know what and also how a camera capturing an image. Okay, so the control, starting control and controlling statement, and also you will be giving an instruction through your camera button. So you will press a camera button to capturing. Okay, so you have to press your capturing button to take picture, right? Okay, so when you are clicking on the button, so okay, your lens will measure the lightings and shutter will open once and it will close. It closed. Okay, that means that will happen in seconds, in milliseconds. That means it won't open lens. So when it's come to recording a video, the lens will be open for a long time. But when it's come to taking a photo or a picture, that will that would open and close in a speed and also in a ultra speed it will open and close. Okay, so through the lens the camera will receive the light and there would be an light measuring and shutter and aperture, everything will control. So in film roll cameras also we had these things, these options. Okay, so film housing will send the image or either to a film roll or either to a digital storage. Okay, so you can see in a digital display means that is a digital camera. Okay, and then uh, digital camera types. Okay, so that means here some of the camera you might know, so some of you might not. Okay, so when it's come to point and shoot camera, the initial digital cameras, that means the first picture that showing a point and shoot camera. So that means the smaller ones, smallest digital cameras. Earlier days we were using. Okay, once digital cameras were introduced, this was very famous, and people was using these cameras to take pictures. Okay, point and shoot cameras that would have some zooming options, not you cannot zoom far away, and this you can focus a little bit, and that would have a flashlight also that used to capture something which is near to you. Only you can capture which is near to you, or either you have to go near to an object to take a picture. And then a bridge camera. So that is the camera which has been introduced as like an half away of DSLR and also half option with the point and shoot. That means the middle of that. So that means we'll say the bright bridge camera that having a lens. Okay, but you cannot change or remove the lens of a bridge camera. You can zoom a little more than the point and shoot camera. So you can use bridge cameras like DSLR also, but you cannot change lens. We have to use the particular lens which coming with the camera. You cannot remove or either you cannot change. So you have to use only one lens which is coming with the camera. Okay, and then DSLR, you all know you are getting crazy, and also the reason why you are loving to learn photography and also why you are getting this much craze on photography is the reason DSLR cameras. So that having lots of lenses, and also there are camera types of cameras in DSLR and brands Sony, Nikon, and Canon, and even there are some other models and brands also. So DSLR cameras, it will have wildlife lenses and 300 lenses, kit lenses. There are lenses, right? So according to your need, whatever the picture you need, what about the picture you wanted to get, you just simply by changing the lens, you can take a picture through the camera, which called um, DSLR, right? So and then mirrorless cameras, okay, in some certain places, and also to get the original quality. Sometimes you might have seen when you use even a point and shoot or bridge or a DSLR camera, you might getting a reflection. So because in camera we do have a glass, right? In camera lens we do have a glass when it is getting reflected. So, okay, in brief, I will be explaining these things. So, when you are getting a picture of a sun, or else we'll say sun light is reflecting on your lens, means it won't give the original quality. It won't give a quality image. Even in your mobile phone, you do have a lens cover, camera lens glass. So, when you're taking a picture of a reflection, when it is a reflection, while you're taking a picture, if it is reflecting a light, that won't give an original quality, and that won't give much quality image. For that, okay, so mirrorless cameras, so those are expensive, and also you have to protect that in a secured way, like you are protecting a baby, you have to protect mirrorless cameras. So because it do not have a lens, sorry, it do have a lens, but it do not have a mirror glass. Okay, but when you wanted to get a reflecting, or when you wanted to shoot a reflection, easily you can shoot that by using a mirrorless camera. Okay, so and then once it come to mobile phone, okay, as you all know, so when it's come to Apple, pixels are getting connected directly, and also Samsung. So it used to connect pixels after getting images. That means in market there are some mobiles, right? So you people, okay, I don't know what is the model and camera for a phone. Okay, smartphone you do have, and also which is the smartphone you are using. But using every smartphone, you can use that smartphone as a DSLR camera, even a digital camera. You can take photographs, wildlife photography. Lenses. There are lenses, and also there are lots of options and softwares. So don't worry, I'll guide you. Even okay, I had learned photography through a lecturer who was teaching in BCAS. Okay, when I was doing my HNDs. Okay, so when I was doing my HND, there was a subject digital image and photography. So there was a lecturer who was teaching us, okay, photography. So he had cameras and all. He had digital cameras, and in BCAS also we had cameras. But he used to take photographs, and also he had most of the good and beautiful pictures which has taken by himself, so was taken through Samsung Galaxy S2. So nowadays people are not even using it. Cost around 2000 to 2500 nowadays, so you can buy, but people are not using much nowadays. So just an 8 megapixel camera, front, rear, I guess 5 megapixel, and he used that 8 megapixel camera as like a DSLR camera. So nowadays people are having some issues and problems, right? So there are my friends who work, okay, now in leading companies. Okay, but the startup of them was an online job, online vacancy. They had started their work through their mobile phones. They haven't had a laptop, and they started to use their mobile phones, and through the mobile phones they was completing their tasks and all. Now they do have assets, machineries, minimum 3 to 4 millions. They do have assets, machineries and all. They bought that. So because I'm telling and sharing this to you all, don't worry, and also don't get fed up, and also don't used to like I wanted to learn photography, and I'm interested, and I'm having the opportunity, but unfortunately I do not have a camera. I'm not financially stable to buy a camera. Even though I bought, I'm not financially stable to maintain that camera, to buy lenses and all. So don't ever worry about that. People who started their photography career, they had started with their mobile phone cameras. So there are stock photo websites. So I'll teach you. So and then there are, okay, in eBay also there is a part where you can post your mobile phone images, and people will be buying and renting for their banners and all. So they will be paying you in dollars. So there are opportunities and chances. So just what you have, and you just start your journey, photography journey, what you have. Don't think with these equipments, and don't think about the tripods and flash guns and all. You no need to worry about those things. By using your mobile phone, by using some applications, there are some mobile phone lenses you can buy in the market. So by using that, you can take lots of images, and also you can prove your photography knowledge and skill through that. Okay, so here you will be gaining all the guidance. I don't know whether you guys are going to apply that in life, whether you're going to become a professional photographer in future. So that is in your hand. Okay, but here to learn photography and to become a photographer, there is nothing, and also there is no any rules. Like you have to have a camera, you have to own a camera, not like that. So when it's come to Apple iPhones, it's enough to have a iPhone 6. You can buy that for a 9 to 10,000 nowadays in the market. Okay, so if you're having a 14 Pro Max, that is more than enough. More than enough. Rather than having a camera, you can capture your images through your mobile phone. That is not the phone model or the camera which you have. A photography is a skill. So how you are controlling the light, how you are editing, and how you making that image to look much beautiful. So that is very important. So here, some people you might be using a Realme or a Redmi or either Motorola, and there is a phone called Poco. Okay, so there are right. So Huawei and Samsung, Apple, okay. When it's come to Apple, the picture quality and camera quality is okay, not accurate. Okay, it not shows in the original color, so it edits, and also the lens which have attached with Apple iPhones, it will have capability of editing the image, not the original one. Okay, so Apple is quality camera, and Samsung you all know. So there are mobile phones, mobile phone models. So you can buy, you can purchase, and the other mobile brands. So when it's come to a comparison between mobile phones, so the battery health, and don't use video recording for a long time. If it is, if your mobile phone battery is not even you have to have nowadays every phones have minimum the battery capacity 5000 mAh, I guess. Okay, if it is an 5000 mAh battery, that is more than enough. So you can shoot all the video recordings and all you can use. But if it is less than that, when it is getting heat, you have to stop your video recording. So that might be an interruption. So if it is having more than 5000 mAh battery, it's enough. And minimum through 8 megapixel camera. Okay, nowadays the mobile phones which you use, you do have 20 megapixel cameras. So even 64 megapixel camera lenses also available in Poco, even in Realme, Redmi mobile phones, even in Motorola, they have launched a mobile phone with the plastic lens. You'll say lens cover. So, so when it's come to Redmi and even iPhones, we do have glass. Okay, getting cracked, and also it getting damaged, and it getting scratches. Then it's come to plastic material. Where in I guess Realme and Motorola, and also in Poco and all, it do have a camera lens which is plastic. It is um, it not getting cracks and all, so crash proof, and also it is not getting cracked and all, so you can use for a long time. So like that, the RA, okay, in Samsung also we do have lots of mobile phone. Also in iPhone, you know, camera quality. The people who are dying for Apple is camera quality, not for processor speed, not for the storage, not for the look. Okay, people are choosing that logo just for the camera quality, as we all know. Okay, so as like we do have some other phones also in market, so in which by using which you can become a photographer. So I don't need to tell that. So you have to know that. Okay, and in last class also, I was explaining about the lens and all. So I was explaining about the lens. So there are lenses, like we'll say kit lenses. So when it's come to a kit lens, when it's come to a kit lens, so that's just an original lens. So and the first image. Okay, the first picture which you see in the side of my presentation, the right side of my presentation. So that is what the kit lens. Okay, when you buy a Nikon or a Canon, even a Sony camera, you'll be getting this 55 mm or a kit lens originally with your camera. Okay, so that is not a zoom lens, that is not a prime lens, that is not a lens to take nano objects or micro objects. That's just used to take photographs which is near to you, like a bridge camera. You can use your DSLR with a kit lens. Like a bridge camera, you can use that. Okay, so please, guys, when you're getting a doubt, note that down because you are learning from the basic. So if you don't know about the bridge camera, if when I explain something, if you know the word I use, and when you're getting a doubt, so was explaining these, what was that word so was using. So when you get doubts like that, please tell me. So I will be helping you to understand that. So don't worry. I will be there for you all to make understand that. Okay. So and then the second type of lens, which the second image that shows, that is what. Okay. So in brief, we'll learn. So to get an insect, we'll say to get a and mosquito, we'll be using a macro lens. You cannot take that picture through a kit lens, prime lens, or a tele lens because mosquito is not a supermodel, right? So if it is a model, we can use a prime lens. So, but through a macro lens, you can get a clear and quality image of an insect or the smallest object even into a large one. So by using a macro lens and prime lens, it used to get photographs of portraits and model shootings and all. So I'll show that. And tele lenses, it used to take uh, most of the time the wildlife photographers using a telelens because every situations are not same and also we cannot go near to every animal. So there are some animals which are not getting attached with human, which used to hunt human. So we cannot go near to those animals. So we'll be taking shots and also we'll be recording and also we will be shooting photos far away from that animal. Okay, so this is what. Okay, so macro lens. So as you all know, in an kit lens, you can take pictures as I told you. Just whatever the capability that lens having, that much only you can take. But in macro lenses, you can zoom. For you do have a ultra zoom. Okay, so and then we'll say to take a zoomed image or as a insect which is on an flower or something. So you can use your macro lens and for a prime lens. Okay, most of the time we'll be using a prime lens. Okay, to get uh, yeah. So to get we'll say okay. So to get model shoots and all, so when it's come to a model shoot or a branding or either you are taking picture to market a product or something. So we'll be using prime lens. So prime lenses are smaller than even that means smaller and also it's the smallest lens ever and also prime lenses are a different type of lens which used to take model shoots and also branding and all will be used. Okay. And telelenses. So as you see a picture in the presentation, so that shows a bird which is rare. Even the people who are in this class, sometimes you might not even have seen this bird before. Okay, but the cameraman to the camera a telelens, it making visible and also making something. Okay, so even though a thing is invisible, a camera telelens it do have a capability of making that visible. Okay, so the picture taken and also the most of the time when we use a telelens, that would be a rare image. So okay, not everyone and not in every time we can get those pictures. Okay, so like that, we'll be using tele lenses to shoot from a far away and also to take pictures from through a long distance. Okay, so and then distance between the camera and the subject, it impacts because we'll say when you wanted to take a photograph of a human, so there are angles and also where you have to stand, where cameraman should stand, where you have to make the object or that person to be seated or stand. So the distance between the camera and the object or that person, it is important because when it's come to 20 meters, you might have seen that it's like an cartoon object. It is not showing in a good view, right? 35 mm and also 50 mm. But when it's come to the 100 mm, when you shoot a picture in a 100-meter distance, okay? So when you use a particular lens, will be capable of zooming 100 meters. That would give a good quality. Okay, so when you used to take photographs and all, so for the portrait shoots and model shoots and all, they used to keep a distance between the object or the person and then uh, the camera. It do have to and must. Okay, and this is what important. This is what the most important thing in the a photographer's life, and also when you're learning photography, this is very important. Okay, so and compositions and techniques. Okay, so there are compositions and techniques. You say there is an there is a picture which has been taken in a view, and that is showing to make that picture to become more beautiful picture. You have decide the composition and decide composition, then you will be able to take that photographs. Okay, fine. So this is what. So if it is possible, guys, you better to note down the compositions. So that will help you to revise and recap. So because I'm not supposed to share this presentation and all I can share, but I will be sharing this as a PDF sometimes. And also, so when you need to note something, you just note composition techniques and all, and you have to note that down. Okay. So before learning and before explaining about the composition, please, guys, I just wanted to know. We'll say so the difference. I was explaining the differences between the chemical and film roll camera and a digital camera. They was explaining the the method and how a camera works, and I was explaining camera models and mobile phone models. So whatever the mobile you do have, if you have any doubts, you can. So and then camera lenses. I was explaining camera lenses, the pictures which we can take through a camera lens. So please, guys, if you do have any doubts related to a digital and chemical image, so camera types of cameras, lenses, mobile phone cameras, please do ask those doubts before I explain the next topic. No one having any doubts. So related to mobile phone cameras and the types of mobile phone you use, whether that is what is possible to get photographs. So you all not having any doubts then. Okay, guys, and then we'll move to the next part then. So, I'm not having any doubts again. Okay, fine. Okay. Position. So the angle and also image should be positioned, and also a photographer must know where he have to stand and from where he have to take a photograph. That is what the composition. Composition in a sense, I'm telling that again. So a photographer must know where to stand and how to take that photograph, and also the photography objects where it should be situated. This is what the composition. Okay. The first composition we learn is rule of third. It means we'll say you're doing a model shoot, or either we'll say for a mobile phone marketing, or either for something for an you are taking an object. So you can divide your screen, and also the place where, okay, the place where an object is placed, you can divide your camera screen into three. And the three in one, that means the picture that shows in the screen, that's how you have to place your object. And when you take a picture in this way, is what we calling a rule of third. Rule of third in the sense, so it will have more spaces in right or left side of the object. So rather than having a middle, we rather than placing an object in the middle of the screen or the photograph, so we'll use to have more spaces in right side or either left side. Okay, so we'll divide the space into three, and 3 by 2 will be the space, and 3 by 1 will be the space in less. Okay, and then
the second composition. So sometimes we used to use a centered composition, because when you take a picture of a train, or we'll say when you take a picture of a long building or something, so you have to take that when it's a tree even. So when it's a tree with a shadow, you have to use a centered composition. Um there might be less space, and also to avoid, you have to avoid the the spaces, and you have to place the image in the center of your photograph. Okay, so and then we do have foreground and the depth, we'll say. So when you are taking a picture with you are focusing on the flow, or either in ground flow or something. So when you take a picture with the top part is blurred, and bottom part is more having focus, so it's called a foreground. That means you all know. So the flow, that means we'll say, take a photograph of a building. When you focus the flow more than the roof, that would be a foreground. And also to show the depth, and also to show the quality of the image, you can use this composition, foreground. So and then frame within the and frame. So that means we'll say, so you are taking a picture through something else. We'll say, so you are taking an object, and to show your photo in a beautiful way, or either it is already having an frame, or you can take the picture through a frame. Means we'll say you are taking a picture through a mirror or something. We'll say you are taking a picture through a hall. So that is what, okay, you can make which you are taking through as a frame you can use. So we'll say this Taj Mahal picture has taken through the entrance of the Taj Mahal, right? The entrance has been used like a frame of that picture, so that is showing a clear and also quality image. The sunlight, sun reflection have hidden to that frame or the entrance. So that's why we are focusing on the Taj Mahal more. So you can see that. And then leading lines. So when you wanted to focus something, when you need to focus on an object, so when you use a line to lead the object, that would be most quality image, and also that would give an better quality. That means the focus will be on the object, because the lines would guide the viewer, and also the people who are watching and looking your image. The lines will guide people to go to the object. So that is what the leading line. So through a line, you will lead your object. That is what the leading line. So this is also most of the people, they used to take photographs through leading lines, because nowadays, even life goals, we do not have any guidelines and guidance. That's why we are getting misguided, right? Like that, when you used to take photographs, so if there is something to lead the object, your eyes will be focusing more on the object than the other compositions, right? So that's why we are using a leading line composition. And then diagonals and triangles. Okay, so we'll say an image. So some people, okay, there are some people, not only the girls, some boys also used to do that. You are turning your image in a diagonal way. Diagonal, you know, right? So not horizontal, not vertical. So changing the view of your camera in a diagonal. So when it's come to a diagonal image, sometimes to post a story or something, say to post a story or something, you might needing a diagonal view. That means we'll say uh, to show your image, you wanted to cover a building which is diagonal, but you are standing in front of that. You wanted to focus that building more than you. So for that, you will be taking that picture in a diagonal way. You will be changing the view of your camera, you will be changing the dimension or either the way you take the picture into your diagonal. So, and then the picture will shows, and also the picture will more qualitier than a vertical or the horizontal view. And the fill the frames. So when it comes in Google also, okay, so there are images which are, we'll say, human faces and model faces. Even uh, there are some people have taken poor people's faces and who are living in streets. So okay, then they have posted then the pictures of those photographers have reached a lot. They have got a high reach. So that means we'll say when you used to take a flower, and also when you used to take a eagle, when you used to take a baby's face, and when you used to take a human face, you can get a much quality. Okay, by using yeah, by using a zoom lens, you can take this picture. So we'll say when you zoom a little bit more in the face, that would give a huge quality, and also it will show a beautiful. It will change the view of the image into much beautiful. So for that, we'll be using the fill in the frame. That means you will fill your screen with the object, not the background. So there won't be any background. You won't be covering any background. You will be covering your frame fully with the object. That might be a face, that might be an object. Fully, you will be covering the whole thing. Okay. So, and then leave negative spaces, because when there is more spaces, negative spaces, so the object would get more focused. That means we'll say, so in this picture, so bottom of the object also we do have a space, and in left side also we do have a space. The spaces are more than, yeah, more than the object size, right? That is what the negative space. We have to leave some negative spaces. Sometimes it to take good photographs, we'll be using this composition also. So you have to understand all of these. So and then color combination. Okay, so this is not under composition. Okay, matching the color and combining. Okay, first you have to know the color combinations. So that means we'll say when it's when you becoming a professional photographer, and also you are to take a photograph, and also you wanted to get a wedding shoot. In that those people are asking from you. Okay, before wedding, they are asking from you to take beautiful pictures. What would be the what should we choose the dress color of bride and groom? So like that they were asking. So in that place you have to know black and color picture would impact more than a black and white picture, right? Like that, the color combination. And when you're taking a picture, you have to consider about the coloring. So later on, you can increase and decrease, you can edit whatever. But initially, what you have to do is, initially, what you have to do is you have to decide the color, also coloring. So when it is, that means we'll say you have a color control. That means in a wedding shoot, okay, so they will ask you, so what I have to wear, so what color I have to wear, so they will ask from you. Then you have to know, okay, when you taking photographs, which colors are which color will give a quality, adding the values to the image. You have to know that the golden ratio. That means you can edit these also, but the evening time and there is a morning time also. So which having an golden hours, we call that as a golden hour. In that time when you take photographs, that would give one beautiful view, and also you no need to even edit coloring and all. You can post directly, however and whatever that image is, that picture or photo is. So that means the golden ratio. You have to know the golden ratio. Some people used to edit pictures and they used to arrange the lenses and cameras, like we'll say. So when they edit, they used to increase the yellow color in order to get golden ratio. That would be an yellowish image, not a golden ratio. You have to understand that. Some people, they used to reduce the yellowish color and also yellow color uh, more than the certain ratio. So that means to get a golden ratio, that is an color management. You have to know that. So don't worry, we'll learn that. We will be learning that also. We will be learning that also. So please, guys. So again, I'm asking because you people have to talk to me, and also I not like learning in YouTube. You are learning something in effective way. So you people have joined in online session. So you have to talk a little more. So tell me if you're having a color management, if you're having any doubts in color management or the composition, please let me know, or either I will continue the session, and also I'll be explaining the next part also.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, සිංහල කතා කරන්න
Yeah,
කමන්නද?
yeah, yeah. Ang kata karana kaman. Doubts තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. කමන්න.
සර් දැන් මේ ලෙන්ස් කැමරා වලින් ඉන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දැන් මේ ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල් ෂූට් කරන්නේ.
ඔව් ඔව්.
එතකොට දැන් මේ Canon වගේ ඇප් තියෙනවානේ ෆෝන් වලට ස්මාර්ට් ෆෝන් වලට පාවිච්චි කරන්න. එතකොට මේ ඒ දැන් ලෙන්ස් පාවිච්චි කරන මට්ටමෙන් නෙමෙයි සමානව සාමාන්‍ය අපිට මේ ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල් විදිහට පාවිච්චි කරන්න බැරිද? ඇප් පාවිච්චි කරලා මේ මොබයිල් ෆෝන් එකකින් මේ ෂූට් කරන්න හරි නැත්නම්
ඔයා
මේ
අහන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා ඔයා ෆොටෝ එකක් ගත්තා කියමුකෝ. ඒ ෆොටෝ එක
ඔව්
සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔයා යූස් කරන ෆෝන් එකකින් ගත්තු ෆොටෝ එකක් ඒ ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල්
ඔව්
DSLR එකක් නැත්නම් ඒ වගේ මේ ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල් කැමරා එක ගත්ත ෆොටෝ එකක් වගේ හදාගන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා ඔයා අහන්නේ. එහෙමද?
ඔව් ඔව්
ඒ කියන්නේ මේ Canva අර Canva ඒ වගේ apps අපි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ වැඩිපුර
ඔව්
ඒ බැනර් ඩිසයින් කරන්න මේ ලොගෝ ඩිසයිනින් ඒවටනේ පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. ඒක නැතුව
ඔව්
Snapseed ඒ වගේ මේ PicsArt ඒ වගේ තව ඇප්ලිකේෂන්ස් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම අපිට මාකට් එකකින් අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ අර prime and zoom lenses තියෙනවා ෆෝන්ස් වලටම එනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ third ඒ කියන්නේ 11 Pro Max නැත්නම් 14 Pro Max වෙනකන් මේ අර Apple iPhones වල ඉතින් කොහොමත් අර zooming quality එකක් කොහොමත් කැමරා වල තියෙනවා. ආය මේ Huawei එකේ Mate ඒවා ඒ models වල zoom
ඔව්
length එකක් තියෙනවා.
No.
සාමාන්‍ය අපි පාවිච්චි කරන Samsung ඒ වගේ normally අපි පාවිච්චි කරන phones වල ඒ වගේ zooming quality එකක් නෑ ඒ වගේ focus උත් ඒවට අපිට lenses ගන්න තියෙනවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දැන් වෙළඳපොලේ zooming ඒ වගේ prime lens වගේ අපිට ගන්න තියෙනවා ඒවා ගත්තාම ඒවා අපිට ඒ කියන්නේ මේ cameras DSLR and professional cameras වලට අපි high කරනවා වගේ mobile phones වලට මේ lenses මම මගේ ඒ කියන්නේ මගේ නම්බර් එක දාන්නම් ඔයා WhatsApp එකේ මට message එකක් දාන්න මම වීඩියෝ එකක් යවන්නම් ඔයාට ඒක අර lens
ඔව්
එකක්
සර්.
තියෙන zoom නැත්නම් prime ඒක high කරගත්තා කියමුකෝ ඔයාගේ phone camera වැඩ කරනවා ඊට පස්සේ professional camera එකක් වගේ zooming and focus ඔයාට ගන්න පුළුවන් ඔයා ඒ කියන්නේ manually ඔයාට control කරගන්න පුළුවන් ඔයාගේ phone එක ඒ විදිහට. ඒ ගත්තන් පස්සේ ඔයාට Snapchat නැත්නම් PixArt එකට දැම්මා. ඔයාට background blur කරන්න ඕනද, color quality එක manage කරන්න ඕනද නැත්නම් ඔයාට උමනා තියෙන විදිහට ඔයාට ඒ photos ආයෙත් හදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකට අර quality and edges ඒ වගේම අර pixel quality එක ඒ ගානට තියෙන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට තමයි අර picture එක ඔය edit කරන් පස්සේ edited වගේ පේන්නේ නැතුව අර original quality එක එන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි DSLR camera එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. DSLR කැමරා එකක් නැතුව ඔයාට මොබයිල් ෆෝන්ස් වල ගත්තු ෆොටෝස් උත් ඒ විදිහට හදා ගන්න පුළුවන් ගන්නකොටම මේ වගේ lenses පාවිච්චි කරාම ඔයාට ඒ ෆොටෝස් ටික ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල් කැමරා එකෙන් ගත්තු පික්චර් වගේ ඔයාට අරගන්න පුළුවන්.
සර් එතකොට මේ සාමාන්‍ය අපි දැන් දැන් සර් කියන්නේ Samsung ෆෝන් වලින් සාමාන්‍ය මේ ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල් මට්ටමේ ෆොටෝ වලට යන්න අමාරුයි කියලා. එතකොට මේ සාමාන්‍ය අපිට ෆොටෝ පැත්තෙන් යනවා නම් මොන වගේ මේ ෆෝන් වර්ගද පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්?
ඔව් ඉතින් Samsung වල යනවා නම් අර S series phones තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම normally මං කලින් කිව්වා වගේ මගේ සර් කෙනෙක් හිටියා එයා ඇවිල්ලා Samsung S2 එකක් පාවිච්චි කරේ. පාවිච්චි කරලා එයා මේ වගේ lens එකක් use කරලා එයාට මේ ඕන විදිහට ෆොටෝ එකක් අරගන්න පුළුවන් වුණා. ඒ කියන්නේ even එයා මේ කලන්ඩර් එකට cover page එකක් දුන්නා. අර ගත්තු ෆොටෝ එක ඇවිල්ලා ගත්තේ එයා අර Samsung Galaxy S2 එකේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට equipments තියෙනවා ඒවට ඔරිජිනල්ම ඒ ඔරිජිනල් කැමරා එක use කරලා ඒකේ ගන්න පුළුවන් quality එකට ඉහළව යන්න බෑ අපිට. මේ අපි මේ වගේ equipments නැත්නම් gadgets මොනවාරි use කරනවා නම් අපිට අර normal camera මේ lens එක අපිට use කරන්න පුළුවන් අපිට ඕන quality එකට අපිට ඒක ඉහළට යන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට වඩා ඉහළට යන්න පුළුවන්.
හරි සර් thank you.
I think the others you do not have any doubts. We'll continue. So the main is a triangle. That means we do have a exposure triangle. So when you manage that, you will be getting a photograph and also you will be getting a picture which is in an expected. Okay, that means triangle means in your camera lens you do have shutter speed and in your camera lens you do have aperture. So and then you do have ISO. So that means we'll say so when it is a moving object. Okay, so one by one I will be explaining this in brief. Okay, so shutter speed and aperture and ISO, everything I will be explaining you in brief. But just for now, okay, when you use a DSLR camera or either as you told you, okay, so as I told you, when you use your mobile phone to take a photograph through a lens, when you use a lens, when we do have lenses for the mobile cameras also, right? So when you are able and also when you can control these three, aperture and ISO and shutter speed, you will be taking a photograph which is much quality. Shutter speed it used to, we'll say when you are increasing the shutter speed, so the shutter opening and closing speed will be in an ultra speed. That means moving object, you can take even a moving object, we'll say a running fan or the running bike or either a running man, to take like freeze or post. When you wanted to take a photograph like that, you cannot let them, and also you cannot stop a train or even we'll say a running fan to take a picture. So this is not possible, right? But even though it is running and moving, while moving, you can take a picture which showing in a freezed way through the when you control shutter speed. When you control the shutter speed, you can make it happen. So and then aperture, the size of the lens you are needing. So the focus of the object. So as in the picture it shows, mm, the picture it shows, we'll say when you are increasing the aperture, so it shows like we'll say it will have more focus on the object. So the background will be blurred to take the picture have we'll say when you wanted to focus on the object and you wanted to blur your background, so you'll be using your aperture option. And ISO, when it is in dark room, when it is dark, when it is not having a when you wanted to take a photograph in night time, you can color the lighting and also you can make your picture brighter through and also by using the ISO, by using the ISO. Okay. So how we have to take a picture. So if we wanted to increase or decrease aperture, shutter speed in ISO, so all those things I will be explaining. So don't worry, I will be explaining in the brief. Okay. So I'm going to conclude the session. So I'll be explaining. I'll be explaining. So just for now, that's all for today. So your first 1,000 photographs are your worst. That means just I have put this to give a knowledge because sometimes you might have been taken 5,000, 10,000, even a million pictures. Okay, yet this. But your first 1,000 pictures are worst. We'll say when you're taking a picture and showing that to one of your friend, and when you show that to one of your lecturer or one of your family member who is a professional photographer, he will use to guide you, right? So they will use to guide you, like they'll say this is not the way you have to take a photograph, so this is not the composition you have to take, this is not the camera ISO you have to use, and this is how you have to control the aperture, so this is how you have to take a photograph by using your mobile phone. So they will guide you, right? They will guide you and they will teach you, right? So like that, we'll say the first 1,000 photographs taught you a mistake. The first 1,000 photographs will taught you and teach you, will make you to take future photographs in a perfect manner. So that is why the first 1,000 photographs are the worst. Okay, so I guess you guys are clear on the presentation, and also the session I was explaining. So and so, can you guys let me know if you have any doubts, or either if you're having anything to be asked, or either not only the session which I have done, or either if you're having any other doubts related to photography, or either cameras, camera lenses, and compositions, or either something else. So you can ask me, so the time I will give 5 to 7 minutes for you all people. So if you're having any doubts, it's not you are asking doubts in Tamil or English or Sinhala. So I am familiar with all the languages. You can ask. So if you're having any doubts, guys, please yeah, please ask if you have any doubts. Okay, guys, and then we'll start we'll meet on our next session. Have a nice day and morning to everyone, and also have a nice day, guys. Take care.
සර්
Yeah, tell me.
සූම් රෙකෝඩින් ලින්කයක් අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන්ද කොහොමද?
Oh, soon ඒ කියන්නේ අර link එක generate වුණාම අපේ administration එකේ කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා. ඒ කට්ටිය එක දානවා.
සර් ෆෝන් නම්බර් එක
Okay, මම phone number එක දැන් දාන්න chat එකේ දාන්නම්. ඔයා මට message එකක් දාන්න.